one thing, if you were to say, those new to the industry, the benefits of a coach like me, which is a different kind of therapist, but we are focused more on the moving forward goals and helping you get there than focusing more on the past. What do you think of value and also spending money on it, their personal growth and everything with that? What do you feel like you would say, like, how can it benefit them? And you can explain like what you're going through if you want.
Yeah. So here's what I would say is it's never wrong to invest in yourself. Right. And I encourage everybody I can. We were talking about it earlier, right? I'm part of a group where that's what we do is we invest in ourselves. And I found that group works for me. And I think for me, it's taken me from a place where I was just mediocre, right? And I'm okay saying that, right? I was living a mediocre life.
Yeah.
Right. I was living that average life. And I got invited into a group of coaching and mentoring, kind of same stuff that you're doing. And I found that I've excelled. I'm above my peers now in terms of performance, of what I'm doing, what I'm accomplishing. And I think it's invaluable that the stuff that you will get from that. And like for young police officers, young first responders, starting off in that, I think they're going to see their career excel way faster than their peers would, because they're going to be on a different mindset and a different level with that.
And what made you go to that? What made you go to
to the coaching, like finding a coach?
You said you got invited.
Yeah. So honestly, that's what it was. Is somebody was like, actually, it was my wife. She's like, hey, I'm going to be part of this group. Do you want to do it with me? And I'll be honest, in the beginning, I was like, I'll do it just because you asked me. Like, I had no intentions really of, like, I was just like, hey, you know what? I'll try it out, right? I'm always down to try stuff. And it was probably the best thing that I've done in the last, few years, was join the group and find like-minded people. Because when you find yourself with like-minded people, you're going to excel. So now what I'm finding is people that are in these groups with me, we've built a friendship, so to say, where we're texting each other, right? I got a message from one of the guys in our group the other day that was like, hey, Lorenzo, I hope you kick ass today. And I was like, hey, man, thanks. Like, I really appreciate that. And then I went to the gym and I got a stripe on my jiu-jitsu belt, right? And I messaged him back and I was like, hey, I did kick ass today. Like, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But it just gives you that little bit of, I also choked out some of my friends at jiu-jitsu, but that's allowed there. So
yeah. Oh God, that topic, that's another thing to talk in. Okay, good. Okay, let's move on. I'll help keep us stay focused and on task, right? Because we could talk all day. Okay, great. So, and I think also too, and it's the same thing with me, and what one of your guests, Megan, said, you don't know what you don't know. So you would not even know, like, all of the things that when your mind becomes expanded, like what you're capable of too. Mm-hmm. So you didn't probably know you could perform even more than you could, because like you said, you're just living the daily. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so yes, like I'm going to relate that back to my bachelor's that I just completed, right? I've literally been working on my bachelor's since 2005. Right. And I just finished it. Right. I just finished it. Now I had military in there. Right. I had deployments. I had a lot of stuff going on that would stop me for years here, years there, years there. But, I never thought I would have finished it. Right. Let alone continue on to go after my master's now. Like, even my friends are like, who are you? Like, you're the guy that we used to go out and have drinks with, and you joke around. You were never serious. And now we're coming to you for advice. Like, what? And that's what you get out of those groups.
Yes. And the desire to achieve and your potential and all that stuff that maybe our parents didn't teach us.
Yeah, because it changes your mindset.
So there's all types of coaching things out there. People can listen to your podcast, people can listen to mine, whatever it is. But the difference is what I would be doing for people who still don't know is that even if I'm doing in a consultation, I basically look at your life and what area you want to look at. And because it's body, mind, spirit, and I customize it for you, I'm not going to say, okay, you need to meditate. You need to do this finger holding technique. You need to do this and this and this if it's not what you're going to do. So in creating the plan, and then I help them work through it. But videos are a good way to kind of jumpstart, like just the whole talk, the talking, and of course, everything in my vault I'm putting into this about self-worth, right? We're talking about self-worth and pushing ourselves and performance and why, who cares, who gives a care, right? But what we're here to do in this life, because I'm also a life purpose coach. So that's what I'm doing. Go listen to the videos on your own. If you have questions, I create writing examples for you. I can do partner selection. Love and relationships is one of my favorite things to talk about. I mean, basically anything you can think of, being a people pleaser, not wanting to say no. Okay, how do I do that, Nora? Okay, well, I'm going to help you. So all things mindset. And the self-defense part, which is for you and I for another show, is that all of that, it's definitely resilience, it's pain, it's because the training, well, you've done Krav, I don't know, I think you've done Krav Maga, right?
A little bit.
You get hurt.
Dabbled in
well it. Even when you're any sort of training and you get any sort of hurt, pain, hit in the head or whatever that sucks, like, but you keep going back because you're like addicted and it's fun and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So all that's why for sure I recommend self-defense. Okay, so this is good because I was listening to your show this morning.